In this video, I'll be going over something that happened very recently. So this has been an ongoing story that has been developing, and it is concerning a fitness influencer YouTuber content creator known as Lukey MC. And just a quick summary of who he is. He is a fitness influencer, bodybuilder, and he also has a lot of comedy to it. He has his own kind of sense of humor. But towards the beginning of this year, he went through a breakup with his girlfriend who he was dating for a few years, and it was one of those couples that, you know, people thought they were inseparable. Basically, they did a lot of dating Q&A videos as well, which were popular, and so no one really expected them to break up, but eventually they did earlier this year, and so it gained a lot of attention. People had a lot of differing reactions to it. And then just recently, within the past few weeks, his ex got with another guy who was taller than Lukey. So people had been saying that this was more proof of the black pill or Heightism being a real thing. And there was a lot of videos and memes being made using Lukey as an example of this. So that's been very popular on that particular spot of internet culture. And today, Lukey put out a video responding to the fact that he's been used as an example to prove the black pill and Heightism. And here he responds. And the reason I'm showing this to you guys is because he does a pretty good summary of the black pill, although he misses a few things here and there. He also mentions his faith because he is a Christian, and so that does play a role into how he views things here. So I thought this was a good balance between recognizing the truths of the black pill and also the truths of Christianity and how they both relate to each other. Although he does make a few mistakes here and there, which I will point out as I play the video.
It's true. I'm a 5'3" manlet. But it's not over. It appears that I have become the mascot of the height pill, per se. And it's a pretty strange feeling, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not too deep into the black pill. I get it. I understand Looksmaxxing, and I agree with it to the extent that I definitely believe that you should work on yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, to become the best version of yourself. And I totally agree that you'll be more respected in the world if you do these things.
Okay, so first of all, he is confusing the black pill with the red pill here. Looksmaxxing is more of a red pill ideology. Black pill is merely stating the fact that looks do matter and that there's certain genetics that women are attracted to and that men will respect, and basically you'll be treated better because of your genetics. And the black pill is just stating the plain fact that that is the case in the world. Now the red pill says that you are able to increase your attractiveness, increase your looks to a certain extent so that you are respected more and you are seen as attractive to more women. So those two things are different because on one hand, the black pill ideology is just stating the fact that it exists, but the red pill ideology is stating that you can and should improve on that.
What I don't agree with is that our core value is in physical traits. And it's so weird because it has become such a big thing that people think looks are the only thing that matters when it comes to attracting a person. Yes, I am a short guy, but I don't go around in my daily life constantly thinking about how short I am, because then I would literally be one of those people who never gets a girlfriend.
He makes the accurate analysis that if you're constantly thinking about the qualities that you don't have, that does have a negative effect on your mentality, and so that's going to change the way you interact with the world and the people around you. So in the sense, looks don't matter in the sense of your entire life, and you know, there's more to life than just looks. But if you're strictly speaking about being attractive, looks do play probably the largest role in that.
I'm not really going to get into all the drama. I'm not going to talk about anything regarding my ex. I'm not going to talk about her situation. I more just want to touch on my personal experience with height, my personal experience with the Looksmaxxing stuff and what it's kind of doing right now, because it is, oof, wow. It's just very surreal, like seeing, like, bro, I've seen so many videos this past weekend about it, and it is like, wow, this is all about me, And these people don't know me. I'm a person, bro. Like I like I have a life, I have feelings, and it's like, dang, they're just like treating my situation as like an example for why they think that they're right. If you know why this is happening, then you know. If you don't, then just hear my story and my personal experience of being short, and hopefully that this can help you too. But okay, I'm 22 years old. I'm 5'3" tall. I'm 165 pounds of pure muscle because I'm a bodybuilder. But like I said, I'm a short fella. I very much take care of my appearance. I go to the gym. I work on myself emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I'm in the black pill or Looksmaxxing terms of this stuff, I am maxing everything else. I'm money maxing, status maxing, physique maxing, looks maxing in my face, sort of, I guess. I don't know. Like I'm a looks maxer, basically. Like bodybuilding is looks maxing. And I very much care about my appearance. But the one thing that I can't change is my height. So why would I go around in my day-to-day life constantly worrying about something that I can't change? It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. And the reason why the people who are always worried about their height and think that it's like the number one determining factor of why they can't succeed, that's the very reason they're not succeeding, because they're worried about something they can't change rather than actually going and changing something. They don't do anything about it because they already just think that it's over.
So here he is correct, but also incorrect at the same time, because he is talking about something that is true, which is that if you focus on the negative aspects of yourself too much, it does have a negative effect on the way you view the world and the way you interact with the world, and I've already said that. But the incorrect part here is saying that you won't be able to succeed if you keep that mentality. Well, it depends how you measure success and what exactly your goals are in life. And here, I'm pretty sure he's just referring to the fact of being able to get a girlfriend. That's probably what he's addressing here. And once again, that is one way to measure success if that is your goal. But the way to do that does require you to face the black pill and come to terms with it. Now, some people would say, don't even try. But I would say you can still try, but you're probably not going to like the results you're going to get, which is a good thing, because I don't think guys should be going after the crazy, desperate women that are out there online. So I don't think guys should be pursuing either of those options, or really any option. But once again, the black pill reality is that you can't get that fantasy that you want. You can't achieve what you actually want. My advice has always been, don't try to pursue your fantasy. Just stick to your goals other than relationships. And if you don't have other goals except that, then you're living your life wrong.
So it's always going to be over. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, bro. I'm under the firm belief that you exude what you feel about yourself. Like I said, I don't walk around in the day-to-day constantly thinking about how short I am. I don't even think about it at all. And so that, therefore, the people around me, they don't even think about it. Like, they don't see me as Luke the short guy. They just see me as Luke, and they see me for who I am, because I have my personality. Like, I'm charisma maxing, bro. Like I'm trying to use, I'm being joking in the way I'm using the terms, but I'll self-proclaim this. I'll toot my own horn. I say I'm charismatic. I'm funny. I have a big personality, and so when people much more care about that stuff instead. The reason why I think this is so stupid as well is, from my personal experience, I've never had an issue getting a girlfriend. Now, I'd say I'm a pretty handsome fellow, but like I said, I have all these other traits that are good as well, and it's never been an issue for me.
Here he's sort of proving another theory that's also within the black pill ideology, which is that women will date you, but they're not going to commit to you in marriage. So he said he's had a lot of girlfriends. Now, you can obviously tell his personality is very goofy, he's a very silly kind of guy. That's his sense of humor, that's his style. And so you can definitely see that women would be attracted to that because they like the feeling, they like laughing, they like having fun. So, of course, he's had no trouble attracting women that way previously. But then why has he not been able to get commitment from those women, or why haven't those women been able to get commitment from him? Because neither of them wanted it. And then we look at what happened just recently. He broke up with his girlfriend, or his girlfriend broke up with him. Yeah, and they say it was a mutual decision, but I'm of the belief that it's never a mutual decision for a relationship to end. It's usually always one side that brings it up, and then the other side capitulates and gives in to that request to end things. But of his own admission, he's had no trouble getting girlfriends in the past, but he's not been able to keep one, and he is a Christian, so he is looking for marriage, and he was going to marry his ex when he was dating her. That was something that they kept saying. They kept bringing it up in their Q&As and telling their fans that, they were the one, she is the one that I'm going to marry. And even within their own relationship, they did a lot of things wrong as well. So there was kind of signs pointing to the fact that, things weren't going to turn out so well, but people were hopeful because it really did seem like they loved each other. And I'm not saying these things to throw Lukey under the bus. I think he's genuinely a good guy. He's a young man, so he does have some of the flaws that come with the territory of being a young man today. Generally, he's a good guy, and I hope the best for him.
Since the age of 14, I've been in a relationship longer than I've been single in my life. I've been with girls shorter than me. I've been with girls taller than me. I've been with girls the same height as me. I've had experiences with all heights of women, and the reason the relationships failed were not because of my height. They were because of fundamental issues with me and my personality and our compatibility and things that I need to grow from and learn from and change.
So he's saying that he was the reason those relationships ended. Now, he's probably being overly nice. This is kind of something that this is kind of a trap that a lot of nice guys fall into. They blame themselves for everything because it couldn't possibly be the girl I was dating. It can't possibly be a woman's fault. So it's got to be my fault. And a lot of guys think that when you go out and when you see guys in person or online who are they're simpish, they're blue pilled, they're white knights, they can think no woman can do wrong. And so they think if anyone's at fault, it's got to be a man. So it's got to be my fault. And so they blame themselves for everything regarding their failures in their relationships. So I think he's being overly nice and he's allowing the women to get a pass while he's blaming himself for everything, even though there probably was a certain amount of fault placed on both parties in a relationship. But again, his main point here is that it wasn't because of height. Now, keep that in mind as we continue watching this.
And therefore, I am maxing my awesomeness. I'm awesome maxing. It's fairly obvious, given everything that we've said, that me and my ex broke up not because of my height, but because of fundamental issues with our compatibility.
Okay, so he points out their issues with compatibility. Now, if that was the case, the way they portrayed their relationship online was that it was a perfect relationship. They said they weren't lying when they said that either. And in their Q&A videos or any videos that they made together, they portrayed this idea that they were the perfect couple. They were perfect for each other. She's the one, he's the one for me. She's the one I'm going to marry, that sort of thing. And all the fans were, excited and happy to see this kind of thing, this kind of relationship in this day and age. So it did give their fans a lot of hope. And so it was very devastating when the news broke that they had broken up. But he says it's not about height. But recently we do see what his ex said about him right here in this comment from Instagram, where she's responding to some of the accusations she's been receiving, and she's been getting a lot of hate as well because of the breakup, because the fans were just so devastated that the breakup happened, and they are blaming her because of hypergamy and the black pill and Heightism. And so she's responding to some of that. She's responding to a particular commenter here, and we don't see the entire context of the conversation, but here's what she says. She says, "Crazy how I actively went for a man shorter than me and helped him build up his money and career, but you're mindless enough to think height was the end all of the relationship." So she's kind of making herself to be kind of a hero and a victim at the same time. She says that she helped Lukey build up his career and money. But then she continues to say, "Short men have proven to me that they can't be secure unless they find a woman much smaller than them." So now she's kind of flipping back to playing the victim and saying Lukey was insecure and that he needs to be with a woman that's shorter than him. Okay, and then the other commenter responds, "Even in this message, you just proved you left him for his height because short men are insecure or some BS." And then she responds, "Yes, why are you mad? If a shorter guy is insecure and wants a girl smaller than him, he should go and get that instead of dragging a relationship on for longer than it should go." So that's basically her summary of their relationship. She plays into the stereotype of women being hypergamous and only caring about height, or at least that height is a very important factor, and also the black pill ideology that women pre-select for certain genetic attributes in a man, one of them being height.
And that's why it happened. Yeah, she's with a taller guy, but I don't care.
And this is sort of painful to see because he knows her new boyfriend's taller than him. He knows that. More believability, more credibility to, but he's trying to be nice. He's saying that it was because of his personality and that there were certain things that their compatibility wasn't working out. But then his ex says that it was because he was insecure due to his height. So she places the blame on his height. He was insecure because of his height. And Lukey is saying it's because of compatibility. What's interesting about this is that his ex doesn't really have a reason to lie at this point. She's sort of making the case that his height led to him being insecure, but at the root of it, it was because of his height. There's no other way around that. And so now she's dating a man who is taller. Now this is 3 months, or about 2 or 3 months after their breakup. Obviously, Lukey says it's easy for him to get a girlfriend. It's been 3 months and he hasn't. And it's been 3 months and she has another boyfriend. So very interesting. I think Lukey is really trying to be the nice guy here. He's being overly nice, trying to make things out better than they really are, because he says it's compatibility. He says it's not height. He says he's had no trouble getting girlfriends. It seems like it's really the opposite to what he's saying.
Another girl down the line wants to be with me, then she wants to be with me. That's how it is. But if a girl down the line doesn't want me because I'm short, then she's not the one for me. I don't want her either. Why would I don't want that. Like, I'm not going to focus sitting here like wanting to be taller to get a girl that doesn't even want me. Eventually, there will be someone out there. Sitting here like wanting to be taller to get a girl that doesn't even want me.
So there's a very important point, because that's basically the result of Looksmaxxing, and Black Pill is very clear about this, that if you change yourself to make yourself attractive to a woman, then the woman is not really attracted to you as a person, but she's attracted to what you've changed about yourself. She's still pre-selecting for certain genetic attributes that you're changing yourself to have, or you're trying to maximize your ability to have those genetic attributes. And basically all of this is just you're playing into the woman's game.
Eventually, there will be someone out there. And for you watching at home too. There is someone for everyone in this world, but you have to work on yourself.
And so that is clearly a blue pill mentality. There's someone out there for everyone. That is not the case. The black pill is very clear about this as well. And that's just reality. I mean, there's no really other way to explain it other than just say that is simply not the case. Not every guy out there is going to have a girl to marry. And he does say that you do have to work on yourself in order to get that. But again, that just proves the black pill, that most people are not born with this ability to be attractive, and so they have to work at it. Despite there being 10% of guys out there who don't have to work as much or don't have to work at all to be attractive to women, and they're attracting the attention of most of the women out there. So once again, the black pill is saying that this is an unfair game. Dating is an unfair game, and relationships is an unfair game. And even if you do win, and even if you do succeed at being in a relationship, most likely the woman likes you for what you have, not what you are, or she's settling for you because she can't get what she really wants, or she's been around and she wants to settle for the safe option.
You have to be the person that can earn a person for you.
So he talks about earning a woman's love, which is also very interesting because a lot of people, and even in the Christian community, when they talk about relationships, they say that it's not transactional. Now, when using the words like earn to describe it, that is essentially, that is what transactions are all about. You have to earn something to get something in return. And relationships are inherently transactional. If you hear anyone say that they aren't, then it's just blue pill cope. It's lying. Because they don't want to admit the reality, because it hurts them to admit the reality.
You attract exactly who you're supposed to, right? So if you're, a little mentally unstable, you'll probably attract someone a little bit mentally unstable as well.
So this is why I encourage guys to don't just settle for any woman that gives you attention, because you're going to end up with a crazy, desperate girl. And that's not a good situation to be in.
Obviously, I'm aware that I'm short. I'm conscious of it. But you can't waste your time being self-conscious of it, It's never going to change. Never, ever, ever.
So he does understand, he comprehends the black pill there.
Now, I'm also Christian. So therefore I obviously believe that our inherent value is not in our looks, because this flesh mech suit that I'm in, it's only gonna last for a short amount of time, and then I'm gonna be dead and in heaven for eternity.
Here's where the theology comes in, and both these things can be true at once. The black pill can be true, and the theology can be true as well at the same time. They're not at odds with each other. And actually, the Bible speaks about, and the Bible does speak a lot about things that in the modern day we would call that black pill. But basically, from cover to cover, the Bible does talk about uncomfortable truths, and that you just have to face reality. If a thing is the way that it is and you can't change it, then you shouldn't worry about it. Be anxious for nothing. Can you bend the arm of God? Verses such as that would show that there is a reality that you cannot change, and that is all the black pill is saying.
Who cares? You do the best you can in the world, and then you're not going to have this body forever.
Now here he missed an opportunity to say that there's more to life than relationships. He does sort of go throughout this entire video with the idea that every guy should have a girlfriend, and you just have to get out there and try. But when he's talking about the theology here, he really missed a great opportunity to say that there's more to life than relationships.
All women are only going for like the top percentile of man, right? And that's like the one who's rich and successful and has a lot of status. Am I not maxing that? Have I not maxed that as well? In fact, like I am maxing those things. So how are there people online using me as an example for hypergamy, and when I'm maxing all those things? I'm just not tall. So maybe I'm not like the complete top 1 percentile per se.
He does understand hypergamy. He's not really saying hypergamy is false. He is sort of hinting at it, but he's not outright saying it, which is sort of interesting. But here he does understand that he's not the complete package, the total package. He might have fame, he might have money, he might have personality, but he doesn't have the height, and therefore that means that there's a better option out there, which is, again, one of those uncomfortable truths that you just have to accept, because when you look at the stats, they do prove hypergamy to be true. Women are hypergamous, meaning that they're going to get the best option in a man that they can get. And they don't think of that as immoral or moral. They're going to bend the rules in a way that benefits them until they can get the best option for them. And people say, well, doesn't everyone do that? Well, no, because guys are actually proven to be the opposite, because they'll date anyone. They'll date any kind of woman. They might not necessarily marry all of them, but they are shown to have a wider pool of women that they date long-term and marry.
And the black pill people will say that that's cope. So like I'm maxing in all these things because I'm coping with the fact that I'm short. But then on the other hand, it's like, isn't the whole point of the black pill and Looksmaxxing to like improve? I can't improve my freaking height, bro.
So here he is running into the dilemma of confusing red pill and black pill. So with Looksmaxxing in particular, it is rooted in black pill ideology, because your genetics aren't good enough on their own. You have to self-improve, and that's the red pill aspect of it. So he's confusing both, and he does run into a contradiction here, where he says that the black pill tells you not to try, but he is trying. So why are the black pillars telling him that he's coping? Because from the black pill standpoint, any sort of self-improvement is a cope, because if it doesn't come easy to you, then it's a cope.
So what am I gonna do? I mean, I can wear platform shoes. I do that sometimes, you know? Feels good to feel a little bit taller. I mean, I will admit, it feels nice. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna actually be that height. So like, it's all a contradiction. Everything's a cope somehow. There's no universe in which it's not a cope. But I don't live my life coping with how short I am. Even like I guess I can get even wider. I can get even more jacked. Like I'm small, bro. Maybe I should get even bigger. Like maybe that'll be the thing. Maybe that's the cope. It just feels good to be big. So like from my perspective, when it comes to being with a woman, like I want to feel bigger than her.
Okay, so here he reveals another important detail. He likes to feel bigger than the woman he's with. Now, the woman he was previously dating was about the same height as him. It's also very similar to what his ex was saying, that if a shorter guy is insecure and wants a girl smaller than him, he should go and get that instead of dragging a relationship on for longer than it should go. So here she's sort of giving evidence to what Lukey is saying, that Lukey likes to be bigger than the woman he's dating, and she's saying that if he wants a girl smaller than him, then that's what he should get. instead of dragging on their relationship for longer than it should have gone. So again, that's just proving both sides of the coin here. Lukey wants to be with a smaller girl, and his ex wants to be with a guy taller than her. The relationship was not going to work from the start because they have different things that they want from their partner, from their spouse. Now, thankfully, they didn't get too far into marriage, because then those problems would have just revealed themselves at that stage, and it would have been harder, or if they would have got married and had kids, it would have been a much more difficult situation at that point. And so luckily they ended things, before it got to that point. But obviously Lukey wants a girl smaller than him, and his ex wants a guy who's taller than her. And once again, let me point out, his ex is already, about 2 or 3 months after their breakup, she's already with another guy who's taller than Lukey.
And, oh, wait, this is actually great, because turns out there's even still women in this world who are smaller than me and thinner than me. So it's like that physical type is for me. That's what I want.
Now, he is right about that. There are women out there who are, of course, smaller, but with the idea of pre-selection, it doesn't matter how short a woman is, she's always going to be attracted to a tall man, the tallest man, who also has good looks, who also has money, who also has the personality. She's always going to be thinking about that. And the reason she's going to be with a shorter guy is because she knows that she can't get that guy to commit to her or to marry her. And so she's going to settle, and perhaps she might even happily settle for a guy that's shorter. Now, it's still settling though, and sometimes that builds resentment, and it shows up in their relationship in various ways, develops into toxic behavior from the woman. And so those are real issues, and those are the kind of things that we see play out in the relationships in real life. We see those insecurities come to fruition, and they're all based on the fact that there are people who they want what they can't have, and they can't have what they want, so it builds resentment in them. And this is what I've called the female black pill, which is that the uncomfortable truth for most women, which is that they'll never be able to get commitment from the 10% of men, and so they'll reluctantly and begrudgingly settle for a man who is not a part of that 10%. They're going to try various methods to get the best man that they can possibly get. So the only reason that they would be with a guy like Lukey, and again, no disrespect to him, but the only reason that they would be with a guy like Lukey is because they know in their minds that they can't get with the guy that they really want. And so they'll settle. They might even happily settle for someone like him.
For me, it would make me insecure because I want to feel bigger. So but that doesn't mean I can never find a girl smaller than me and that it's gonna be over for me. But these freaking black pill guys think that it's just all gonna be over no matter what. So they don't even try. What do you mean? It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They think that it's already over, so they don't try to max anything in their life, and then it is actually over because you're not actually improving in any aspect.
So once again, the black pill states that there are certain genetic traits that women pre-select for. The red pill states that self-improvement is one way that you can increase the pool of women that are attracted to you.
So it's like all the dudes that are saying these things about me are like actual just chud incels who are never gonna find the touch of a woman.
So now he says the classic line. He calls them chuds and incels that will never feel the touch of a woman. He does play into the gynocentric worldview here. Historically, women have shamed men for being incels, for being virgins. So it's really disappointing to see him fall into that, but it's no surprise because so many guys do.
Because they're so deep in this stuff. And those are probably the people making these freaking edits to begin with. And I know the edits aren't even necessarily in they're not directly aimed towards me to make me feel bad personally. It's more like I'm being used as the example and my situation's being used as the example. But I just find it so stupid because I've been seeing so much of it. And honestly, I can sit here and complain as much as I want, but the amount of people who've been super incredibly supportive of me, I thank you very much. It's just things have been made super public that don't need to be made public, and it's definitely not helping the situation. Every time more information gets made public about my personal and private life and past relationship, more bad things start to happen. So, maybe let's, I'm a person. Like I said, I have feelings. I'm a human being with my own personal life. And just because I make content doesn't mean I'm not a person. So the hope's not gone, but you got to work on yourself, you know, because you're never going to change your height. It's never going to ever happen. You are never going to change your height unless you break your femurs and possibly not walk again. But you can get jacked. And honestly, getting jacked, that's cool because you can work for that. And everyone can get jacked.
And the video basically ends there. So once again, he admits the black pill to be true, because if the black pill wasn't true, there wouldn't be a need for self-improvement. There wouldn't be a need for the red pill. And if your goal is to attract a woman, then you have to admit that you need to self-improve, which again, then you must admit that the black pill is true. Certain genetic traits that women pre-select for, and that you have to self-improve to reach those as close as possible. And then you'll be able to find success. And the way they measure success is by being in a relationship. Also a faulty way of thinking, but that's kind of how, that's very normal for young men to think in those terms. Which is why so many men are having black pill moments, you know, within their own experiences, and they come to the conclusion that the black pill must be true to some level. And so that's basically the end of the video there. And just to reiterate what I said earlier, I'm not saying this to hate on Lukey or to add to the negativity that he's been getting. The reason for this video is just to show you the ideologies of the black pill and the red pill playing out in real life and what they mean and how they interact with Christian theology. Because I think Christians are really behind in understanding the minds of young people. And in order to proselytize, in order to make disciples, we have to understand the way young people think. So that requires us to understand what the black pill means, what the red pill means, what is hypergamy, you know, what do the statistics show about the nature and patterns of behavior of women. We need to understand these things in order for the church, for Christianity to flourish in the modern world, because obviously the church has really been losing its grip on the culture and losing its influence on the culture as well. And I want to see a change in society, in Western society. I want to see a change in the young people. That's why I make these kinds of videos. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with what I said in this video? What are your thoughts on this whole situation? If you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. But that's it for this video, so I'll see you in the next video.